The Tampa Bay Lightning now even things up with the New York Islanders after defeating the Islanders 4-2 in Game 2. Gentlemen, let's get right into it. David, for the Tampa Bay Lightning, was it just a case of a rebound game for them?
Yeah, there was just no way the Tampa Bay Lightning were going to go back to Long Island down 2-0 in this series. They just weren't going to allow that to happen. And they have a history, especially in their last 10 games. After taking a loss, they come back and win in the postseason. So there was just no way that they were going to allow themselves to dig that big of a hole and give the New York Islanders that much of an advantage. They utilized all their lines. They got their defense in the mix. Jan Ruda and Victor Hedman getting 2 goals on the night for the Tampa Bay Lightning. The first time defensemen for the Bolts have scored in this postseason, and they got contributions up and down the lineup. This was a prototypical Lightning game, and they certainly came out on top. And this is going to be a shot-for-shot kind of series. So far, we're 1-1.
Now, DB, when you look at this New York Islanders team, was it a sense of a case of two different teams in Game 1 and 2, or did something go wrong for the Islanders in Game 2?
Irf, I'll borrow a phrase from another city in the semifinals. The Islanders were playing with house money tonight. They doubled down, and they busted. This was not the same Islanders teams that we saw in Game 1. Too many turnovers, too many mental mistakes, just a poor effort. Yes, they took a bad break on the 6 men on the ice in the 2-1 goal that put Tampa up. But the first 10 minutes of the third period was not Islanders hockey. It what cost them to the game tonight. Yeah, Varlamov came off. He went back on. Vasilevsky was solid when he had to be. But this was not a typical Islanders road game. They need to be a lot better in Game 3 if they want to take a 2-1 lead going back to the Coliseum.
Well, they're going back to the Coliseum for Game 3, David. When you look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, their stars came out to play today. They had their big guns out, and as much as we say this all the time, they're going to go as far as guys like Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov take them.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 assists on the night for Nikita Kucherov. They were rolling. They were getting into the mix. Braden Point was aggressive. They needed to come out with a stronger attack in this game, in Game 2, and they did that. There was too much of a feeling out process for the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 1. They wanted to see if the Islanders were still the same club that they faced and ended up beating in 6 games in the conference final last season. There was too much of that going on for them. And from the Islanders' perspective, they just waited and took advantage of missed opportunities and mistakes that the Bolts had. So in this game, Tampa went back to their basics and as I mentioned, playing a much more accustomed game to what they're used.
Dennis, very quickly, this game's all about adjustments. How do the New York Islanders adjust heading into Game 3?
You have to get back to their game, Arf. Like limited turnovers, and they can't with the nonsense at the end of the game. They really can't get into that. They're a physical team, but all these penalties at the end for roughing, they really need to focus on beating the Tampa Bay Lightning. That's the number one goal. That's what they need to do in Game 3.
Well, you know it's going to be fun in Game 3 when these two teams meet in just a couple of nights on Long Island.